I have a few verses which I need to read, so it'll be nice if you continue and I can fill in if required.
So, Upendra Prabhuji, today is your turn.
Okay,
Sorry. Okay, it's turn, huh? You said today's Upendra Prabhu's turn.
Yeah, Prabhuji, let me share my screen.
Let us do the invocation first. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vesham Tato Jayam Udirat Nashta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Shevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki. So, Uji, we are reading Canto 10, chapter 11, and yesterday we read until 57. So, Upendra Prabhuji, please. You can go from here.
Yeah, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oho Brahma Vidyam Vacho Nasatya Santi Kahirchit Garko Jadaha Bhagavan No Bhavi Tathaiva Tat.
Prabhuji, we discussed this one yesterday, 57.
Oh, 57 we already covered? Okay, Prabhuji.
58.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Iti Nanda Doyo Gopa Krishna Rama Kathamuda Kurbanto Rama Manascha Navindan Bhava Vedanam. Translation: All glory to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In this way, all the cowherd men, headed by Nanda Maharaj, enjoyed topics about the pastime of Krishna and Balaram with great transcendental pleasure, and they could not even perceive material tribulations. Purport. Here is an instruction about the result of studying or discussing the Krishna Leelas that appear in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sadhyo Hrudaya Avhrudayate Tra Kritivi Susruvis Tat Kasant. Bhagavad 1.1.2. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda in Vrindavan appeared like ordinary person of this material world, but they never felt the tribulations of this world, although they sometimes met many dangerous situations created by the demons. This is practical example. If we follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas, we can all be happy simply by discussing the activities of Krishna. Anarthosamam saksad bhakti yogam adhokasya lokasya janato vidamas chakre satvata samitam. Bhagavat 1.7.6. Vyasadeva has given this literature so that everyone may understand one's transcendental position simply by discussing Bhagavad Katha. Even at the present moment, everyone, everywhere can be happy and free from material tribulation by following Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no need of austerities and penances, which in this age are very difficult to perform. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore declared Sarvatam Sanapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. By our Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam so that anyone in any part of the world can be observed in the Krishna consciousness movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna and be free from all material tribulations. Hare Krishna. So here in this, like earlier we discussed, like in the Krishna childhood, so two demons, one he killed, one is the Bakasura, and previous to that, the one demon came in the form of a calf. So both Krishna's killed, and after that, these things are the Nanda Maharaj and other people in the Vrindavan, they are discussing those things, how this child, that Krishna, Balaram, and also the cowhead childs, how they have saved from these big demons, and how they are, and they, Krishna killed these two demons. So these are they are discussing. And also in the previous, yesterday we discussed like Nandaraj, they're thinking like the Garg Muni has sometimes has predicted that Krishna will be not be in a normal child, and he and something that same thing also, while talking with other people, Nanda Maharaj also thinking the same thing, and they are discussing and enjoying also the pastime of Krishna and Balaram with pleasure. Thus, here in the purport, Prabhupada has mentioned like something more about the Srimad Bhagavatam and how the people are after distributing the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Krishna conscious movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna, and how people will be in this material world will be the free from all the materials, different material tribulation, material activities, and how the people will be. Srila Prabhupada, he's trying to be how the people, all the people in the material world will be happy and they will be free from all the material tribulations. Hare Krishna, Puji, back to you. Please add anything.
Devotees, please add additions, corrections. So what I suppose nicely said, that like I can give an example that when you go for the satsang for 2-3 hours, and on the weekend it looks like so many things happen over the weekend, so many like everyday work related stress and coming home related stress, but in the satsang that 3 hours goes by bliss only, without any tension, anxiety. So Krishna always brings happiness, anxiety free for the devotees, and the material tribulations, material up downs, they become very insignificant. Like like half an hour back I was discussing with Basudev Mataji. She was telling that research related stress, getting grants, there's a big competition, so you can get the grants. If you don't have the grants, then no research, no job. But that anxiety part is gone for Mataji because she's truly dependent on Krishna. If happens, happens. If not happen, it will not happen. So Krishna consciousness gives us not only confirmed spiritual place in Krishna Loka, but also in the material world, we can live in anxiety-free conditions by being Krishna consciousness. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanuvat Pranam. Yes, both of you so nicely said that when we have the Krishna consciousness, when we have that consciousness, of Krishna's pastime and all the devotees association, then we become stress-free. And what I feel is, and the weekends, what we get, and not only the weekends, every day we are getting association through Srimad Bhagavatam reading classes, with the WhatsApp messages, and we are always associated with each other and the devotees. And at least for me, it makes so much different than my like 5 years ago, wow, where I am, and now where am I? It's so different, like two different person actually. And that is because of Prabhupada, because of Srila Prabhupada. For him, it's in this, the whole world is now so much Krishna conscious. And my non-devotee friends, I would not say non-devotee, but they are not practicing Krishna consciousness. Maybe they have other demigod interest, but when they send those dance video by ISKCON Matajis from London, from other part of the world, from US also, and send me those messages that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they are dancing, all those Matajis with nice dresses, and then I feel like, okay, I'm still, it's spreading, and Srila Prabhupada's spreading. And what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, that's what the devotees are doing. And as a result, Prithibite joto ache nagoradi gram sarbotter prochar hoibe mor naam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that. So that's actually happening, and it will happen according to Pran Govinda Prabhuji. It will happen next 10,000 years. It's still, it will spread the Krishna Bhakti. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna. Nandini Mataji, Shivrash Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, please accept my humble obeisance. So happy to see all of you and nicely engaged in reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this group is itself a kind of testimony to this verse, that if someone is not getting something, someone will not spend considerable time in that. Very simple, right? Why will we spend our time and energy in something which is not helping us, which is not giving us true joy and happiness? All of you are spending your valuable, on an average, 1 hour every day just reading what? Krishna Rama Katha Mura. That's mentioned in the second line. Krishna Rama Katha. Bhagwan Ram and Krishna ki Katha. And what happens? One who does so, Kurvant Rama Manascha. It gives great joy. In Bhagavad Gita also says, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. It gives great joy, because this is the real source of all happiness. This is the real source of all the nectar. And what happens next? So in the third line, there is emphasis on the positive aspects, like what joy comes in one's life, happiness comes in life, Krishna's increased affection to Krishna comes. So if one say, hey, how can I develop my attachment to Krishna? Naturally, hear more about Krishna. How will we develop attachment to Hollywood star, Bollywood star? By reading about them, by watching their movies, or cricket star, or basketball star, anything. Why do people develop attachment? Because they read and hear about those, because they watch their movies, they watch their shows. They spend time and energy in reading and hearing about those people, right? The same example can be spiritualized. When we read and hear more about Krishna, we will naturally develop more affection, as Prabhupada mentioned, increased affection. And it will be a happy, joyful process. And in the fourth line, na vindan, bhava vedana. Bhava, this material world, bhava, sagar, has a lot of vedana. Vedana means taklif, anxiety, stress, depression, problems, sansara dhava. There is all like burning fire. And a beautiful, in the translation, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, they could not even perceive material tribulations. Perceive material tribulation. It's not that, it's not mentioned, they did not have any material tribulation. They did not perceive material tribulation, although big demons were coming. Putana, Agasur, Bakasur, Takasur, so many demons came, so many challenges, Govardhan Leela, Indra gave torrential rains, and so much tribulations were coming. But they never perceived that. Same in the life of Prahlad, same in the life of Arjuna, same in the life of Kunti Devi, Draupadi Devi. Any example we take, they never perceive. Prabhupada, so many challenges, so many life-threatening situations, heart attacks and attempts to kill him, and so much. But he was always Brahmabhuta. So this is a real formula for happiness, as Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport also. If we follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas, we can all be happy simply by discussing the activities of Krishna. This is again from the purport. So all we have to do, if we want to be happy, to follow in their footsteps by reading and discussing more about Krishna. And that's not sufficient. As His Grace Vashishka Prabhu says, rice, this is like sadhana, this is part of sadhana, reading, hearing, shravana. But when rice and dal are combined, it gives 41% more nutrition. It gives a lot more nutrition. So the rice, you can say one aspect is one's own reading and hearing. And the next aspect is when you put the dal of sharing, and that's what Prabhupada mentioned in the next purport, that our movement is, we're trying to distribute Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. because a miserly person will like to keep something with themselves. If they have something good, they don't want to share it. But a Brahmana, a devotee, a Vaishnava, if they have something nice, if they have the real formula for happiness, which is this mentioned in this verse, then why not we share with everyone? As all of you are so nicely distributing Bhagavad Gita, right now Bhagavad Gita Jayanti is going on, conducting monthly Sankirtan festivals, Bhadra Purnima, and Gita Jayanti. There is so much opportunity to share Krishna consciousness through books, through prasadam, through inviting for programs, through multiple ways. And this is like a double combination, because in sharing, we get more, our happiness increases more when we see joy in others. Para dukha dukhi, para sukha sukhi. When we see that this person is so happy to come to the program, and you can feel the real joy, right? You can feel that they're so ecstatically dancing and feeling that Krishna consciousness, so happily experiencing. Earlier, they've had so much anxiety in their life, and now after coming to the path of bhakti, they are so happy here. Then our happiness increases multi-folds, because this is, like misery, when we, para dukha dukhi and para sukha sukhi, when we see the joy in others' life, when we see a true person, a true selfless person, a selfless devotee will naturally be happy. That's the formula. And will be free from all material tribulations, as Prabhupada mentioned. It doesn't mean challenges will not come. It doesn't mean that they won't go through health crisis or family situation sometimes, or these material world is dukhalayam. So there will be dukkha, but they will not perceive that. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Let me share my screen. Anyone can read 59?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, can I read, Prabhuji? Yes. Evam vihara Kaumara Kaumaram Chanturraje Nilayana Setubhandir Markata Tapalo Va Adibhi. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this way, Krishna and Balaram passed their childhood age in Vrajabhumi by engaging in activities of childish play, such as playing hide and seek, constructing a make-believe bridge on ocean and jumping there and there like monkeys. Thus, end of Bhaktivedanta purports of 10th Canto, 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Childhood Pastimes of Krishna. Hare Krishna, very wonderful here. So we can see that in this way, Krishna and Balaram not only playing, but at the same time they are depicting as Lord Rama, monkeys building the bridges. So and they are also learning a lot of things over there, and they passed all that time, even though it appears to be childish, but there's a lot of meaning into it. That's what I understood. Please add or correct. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, why we're calling Vrindavan as a Brajabhumi, but we never call Gokul? Because Brajabhashi is also in the Gokulas, right? They then moved here in Vrindavan.
Can you repeat, Prabhu? I couldn't get that.
So,
I can't hear you, Prabhu. Maybe it's my side or yours.
Prabhuji, are you mute? We can't hear you.
it's not a Brajabhumi.
Prabhuji, can you repeat? Prabhuji can't hear you.
Oh, probably my internet not working then.
Yeah, now we can hear you, Prabhuji. Can you ask again?
So, Brajabhumi we call Vrindavan only, right, Prabhuji? And Brajabashis who lives in Vrindavan. You can hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, but at the beginning, Krishna was born and brought up in Gokula, and the Braja was moved from there to here. So, but we don't call Gokul as Brajabhumi. Any meaning of Braja?
Raj is much. Raj area is considered much bigger. His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj does Raj Mandal Parikrama, and that is 84 kos. 84 is how much? 84? 84. One course is about 3 kilometers. 84 kos, it's about 250 kilometers.
Kosh is 8 miles, right?
8 miles? I thought it was 3 miles. Let me double check.
No, Prabhu, that's yojana. 1 yojana is 8 miles.
Yeah, it's about 2-3 kilometers. Yeah. 2-3 kilometers. Yeah, Yojana is 8 miles. So in short, Vrajabhumi, when we say Vrajabhumi, we are saying a much bigger area that includes Gokul, Varsana, Govardhan, Vrindavan, and all the places. I'm not sure if Mathura is also part of it or not, but
yeah, here it's Prabhuji. Mathura is also part of Raj.
Okay, yeah. So it's a much bigger area. As you see, about 250 kilometers it takes. Devotees do like a whole month parikrama, Raj Mandal parikrama. Maybe you should try to go and share your experiences. No, I'm serious. Yeah, it's not. It'll be nice if anyone wants to spend their whole Kartik month and plan. It's a very nice thing too. And then they go in detail and see all the holy places and spend a lot of time in all those holy places. Nice. So Krishna and Rama are like acting like monkeys, constructing bridges, playing hide and seek, markata, jumping like monkeys here and there, holding cow tails. So these are just like etc. etc. I mean, Adibi means they're like, this whole chapter is entitled Childhood Pastimes of Krishna. They're like endless pastimes. Shukdev Goswami is not just it cannot, because of the time constraints and the situation he is in, he's just sharing a few of those and just saying, okay, Adibi, a lot of those such pastimes, notorious pastimes, and will always one sweet pastime which I recently heard will share with you, and maybe I'll share too. Reminded of the monkeys when Damodar Leela was happening. Krishna's mother was running after Krishna, Yashoda Mata is running after Krishna, and then finally she catches, and Krishna, as we all know, and then Krishna, is so naughty, like a monkey. Chanchal, monkey is chanchal, right? I mean, when we were in Govardhan, there were like thousands of monkeys, thousands and thousands of monkeys. Of course, they were not as wild as the Vrindavan monkeys. So Vrindavan monkeys are a little wild, and they are very rough. They can snatch your bag, snatch your specs, but the Govardhan monkeys are more sober. They won't trouble you unless you go and trouble them. You can just walk beside them. They will sit with you. They will grab banana from your hand, and it was a very nice experience with them. But Vrindavan monkeys, you can't sit with them. They will stand on your head and take your bag, and they are a little aggressive. So back to the Damodar story. So Mother Yashoda said to Krishna, hey, why are you always jumping here and there like a monkey? How have you got these qualities? How have you got these qualities? And Krishna says, certainly not from my mother, certainly not from my father's side. Kids get quality from parents. So Krishna is saying basically to his mother, hey, you are like a monkey, so maybe I got some qualities from your side. Like that. One time Krishna was doing mischief, childhood pastimes. Krishna was doing mischief, playing here and there, jumping here and there. The mother said, hey, why don't you study? You don't have any better thing to do. Just like parents say, all day you're playing, when will you study? Like same Mata Yashoda was saying, why don't you study? And Krishna said, oh, study. What will I get if I study? Right? What is in it for me? Right? Everyone asks this question. Why should I do that? There must be some benefit out of it. Then Mata says, oh yes, you will get some benefit. You will get what? You will get jnana. You will get knowledge. Oh, I'll get jnana. Okay. Mata, what will happen if I get jnana? What will happen if I get knowledge? Oh, after knowledge, you will get mukti. You will get liberation. Oh, Maya, mukti, I'll get mukti. Then Krishna says, what is the benefit of mukti? Right? Why do we want to get mukti? And then Maya says, well, if you get mukti or liberation, you will become happy. Right? Therefore, you should study Shastra. So you should study the scriptures, you should study Shastra. And then Krishna or naughty monkey like Krishna puts his hand in the pot of butter and says, "This is my Shastra, because this gives me real happiness." This is my Shastra, because ultimately you said the purpose of Shastra is to get happiness, and I get happiness by eating butter. So this is my real Shastra. So like that, Krishna used to do unlimited pastimes, jumping here and there, and so many things he used to do. So these Vrajalila is very, very sweet. One of the acharyas, said about the childhood pastimes of Krishna, which I will share with you. Srila Jiva Goswami actually mentioned in the Gopal Champu that when my heart is so hard that when I hear about Krishna, my heart doesn't melt. But when I hear about the baby Krishna, still it doesn't melt. When I hear about Yashoda, it still doesn't melt. But when I hear the exchanges of Krishna with his devotees, with like Yashoda, like his friend, especially the childhood pastimes of Krishna, then my heart melts, and may that Krishna come and steal that soft heart, which is melting for love for Krishna. The very sweet, sweet pastimes are there. Haribol.
Gopendra Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So we have the end of that. So from tomorrow we'll start a new. Today we'll continue, or maybe you can recap this childhood pastime, like what we have discussed till yet. Yeah. Please suggest, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I think since there is only like 15 minutes, 20 minutes left, I would suggest, I have to suggest, I was not sure who has to suggest, but if I would suggest, if I have to suggest that, Mananam after Shravanam, and we were in the retreat with His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj. I'll share some point which links very nicely to the discussion going on. He said, Bhakti is not about capturing information, right? Bhakti is not, like chanting without devotion. Is like food without salt. Chanting without devotion is like food without salt. And similarly, reading scriptures without mananam, or assimilation, absorption, reflection. What is in it for me? What do I learn from this? Even if it's one lesson I got from this chapter, even if it's one point I take home from this chapter, that's much better than memorizing all the verses and not trying to do mananam. So similarly, reading without assimilation or manana is like food without salt, or chanting without devotion, or any bhakti anga without devotion. So with that, I would suggest that all of you can at least share one reflection, one thing you liked from this chapter, one thing you take home from this chapter, one thing you felt encouraged and as a personal life lesson or something. If everyone can share, that would be very nice in the next 15-20 minutes. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. I want to share one thing, the Krishna and Balram is playing outside, and Nand Maharaj, the king, he is waiting for them to eat the prasadam. So that is one thing, like we have a lesson, like at least once in our family also, we sit together and eat the prasadam together. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Can you quote the verse you learned?
Not, no, Prabhuji. I have to.
Lord Yashoda is calling. Rama, please bring your Anuj also. Come fast. You remember that verse? Like 16, I believe. Hey Rama Gachatatashu.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot. Relax, take it easy. You can do some reflection on that verse, but I think that's what you're quoting. And the next verse, we discussed multiple reasons why they were calling. And one of the reasons was that the family should sit together. Even Nanda Maharaj, as the king, has so much responsibility, but he's still having lunch with his children. It's a great lesson. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ru. Very nice. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, we can, from the fruit vendor pastime, we can know that, Krishna fulfills, all your desires. Even though if you don't have desire, even if you just offer a very little, at the end when, little Krishna was just holding 1 or 2 grains, and but the fruit vendor was very, very happy to take it. So, and immediately we see that everything became, filled with gold and jewels. So, even the mukti is a byproduct of bhakti. So when we have bhakti, love and devotion, everything, even if it is a sorrowness, happiness, wealth, health, whatever it is, automatically everything is byproduct. That's what I thought. But please correct. Hare Krishna.
Wow, that's a beautiful lesson from the fruit vendor story. Thank you. And that's what we learned today also, that this is real happiness. By reading, hearing Krishna Katha, by serving with devotion. Thank you. Anyone else wants to share something they liked?
So, Puji, when there's a lot of turbulence going on in Gokul, a lot of demons coming and they're trying to harm Krishna and Balaram. So they decided what to do next to protect their loving Rama and Krishna. So they gathered, and the most mature, knowledgeable person, who is the Upananda, the brother of the elder brother Nanda Maharaj, who actually guided the whole community to move to a Vrindavan, where Krishna and Rama will be safe, as well as the whole Brajavasis. And leaving this place, they're teaching that if anything comes against our bhakti sadhana at any point, we should leave it and find a solution where the bhakti can be done with unhindered. You can take suggestions from the senior devotees, Guru Maharaj, and that way we can continue our bhakti. Back to Guruji.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember I was present in that class and we discussed those points in great detail. If anything is not conducive for Krishna consciousness, anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjita. We should reject that. We should alter. Prabhupada quotes this multiple times. A devotee molds one's life. That means one's career, one's health, one's family, one's finances, one's home, one's habits, one's inclinations, one's, everything, children, husband, wife, tries to mold whatever is feasible, whatever is in our circle of, capacity to change. We must try to change and mold it so it becomes favorable. And if something is unfavorable and we have the capacity to change, we must try to change. And then they did have the capacity to change. They used their best intelligence, right? They discussed practical lessons for meetings, right? ISKCON has a lot of meetings, very nice lessons on how to have good meetings. And we discussed those also in these verses. They're having a meeting, they're having a discussion for Krishna's welfare, and this Upananda was very mindful of Deshakala, right? And we discussed that. He was very experienced according to time, place, and country, and therefore his opinion is not same as everyone's opinion. Like a new person who may have no experience in the process, and a person who has 50 years of experience and very mature, certainly their opinion has different weightage. Not because we don't respect a new person, just because they may not be able to foresee things which the other person may be able to because of his maturity, experience, bhakti, and multiple other factors. So everyone listened patiently and carefully considered that suggestion, and then they decided to move. And then Vipul Prabhu shared it. Baldev Seva Prabhu shared so wonderful lesson. Thank you, Prabhu. I also really liked, these are like, and this is act of devotion here. I also, that just my reflection that sometimes we may see these meetings are this waste of time, that actually it's not. Even we just read, we should follow the footsteps of Nanda and Gopals, right? That's what they're doing. They're having a meeting, they're having a discussion to protect Krishna, right? Or to protect Krishna consciousness in our case. So those meetings are not waste of time. Those meetings are not just some people may they don't like the word management. I too don't like the word management. I say you may call management, you may call service, you may call seva, you may call coordination, but this is what is happening here also. You may call meeting, right? It's not about management, it's about a discussion, or it's about service to, and everything needs discussion. Even in a family, husband and wife discussing, hey, I'm going for grocery, what do you want me to get? That's also a discussion, right? That's like home management, in other words, right? Or I'm going to pick the kids. Can I get something on the way from the grocery store which falls on the way? You may name it home management, you may name it a discussion, you may name it Krishna consciousness, whatever, but the principle is the same. So I really got inspiration from these few verses, because some people may say, I don't want to be involved in all this, but this is required. This is happening every day at our homes. This is happening, and every organization needs some discussion. Let's say we have to distribute books, without planning. What are we doing? Where are we doing? How we are doing? What time are we meeting? Imagine no discussion, no planning. Like it'll be a chaos. So thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this beautiful lesson. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Good to see you, Prabhuji. Hope you are doing well in India. So,
all by your blessings and prayers.
So this chapter, 2 points, and I have very much, like I'm always thinking about Krishna's. Krishna is enjoying his childhood pastime with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and all the gopis and gopas in Brajadham, and he actually, Nanda Maharaj and all of them are actually covered by Yogamaya. So they don't know the real truth that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. They are thinking that Narayan is doing everything, Vishnu is doing everything, and Krishna is enjoying that, and he's not an ordinary child, but he behaves like ordinary child. So, and their parenthood is so deep, and their love is so deep. Only their intention is to please Krishna, to think about for Krishna. Only that's the intention. And the second point, also I like that yesterday we read about Bakashur. Bakashura, when swallow Krishna, Krishna is the sweetest among the all sweet, but still Bakashura, he is a non-devotee, he is envious. So he tastes bitter. So that's why he vomits. That's what, as Srimad Bhagavatam, you read in the purport, he vomits, because if it tastes Krishna as bitter. So unfortunate. So like a non-devotee who are not practicing Krishna consciousness, they think what these people are doing, these Hare Krishna people dancing and chanting, etc., etc. What they're doing, what's their goal of life? Look at us. We have a lot of money, a lot of Mercedes-Benz, Tesla. We are enjoying our life, but they don't know what they're missing in this life. So that's why the devotees are continuously trying to give them, to increase, to raise their consciousness so that they can also get some mercy from Krishna. So that's the difference between the devotee and non-devotee, like what Bakasura tested, bitterness to Krishna. So that's what that's my to take away, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Wow, that's a beautiful lesson. If we are, as this jaundice example also comes, holy name is very sweet. Madhuram eva, mangalam mangalepyo. Peace. It's madhur, very, very madhur, very, very sweet, like nectar. But if someone is covered with jaundice, or someone is covered with the disease of material ego, envy, then it will appear very bitter. Bakasur spat it out, spat Krishna out, right? And I was thinking that another lesson is some people come to path of bhakti and then they leave Krishna consciousness, they spit Krishna consciousness out in one way, or they leave it. Why? Because some unpleasant experience, oh, I'm not getting that nectar, or I'm not getting, or someone said something. Multiple reasons could have. But what happens then? It doesn't do any good to them. Rather, they end up in a more miserable situation, right? So even if sometimes we get a bitter experience, it could be either because of one's own habits, it could be sometimes because of some other circumstantial things, but we should not leave Krishna. Because the medicine, if we leave the medicine, then how will we get free from the disease? So thank you. Very nice lesson, Mataji. Haribol.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Good to see you, Prabhu. Live. Your grandmother's video that you posted chanting 3,000 plus times, very inspirational, Prabhu. All great souls. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Damodar Leela, I do not recall if it is part of this chapter, but just a realization that I wanted to share. Because of Damodar Leela or Damodar month, Kartik month, lot of changes in my family. Got close to Krishna, and I mean, proudly say that all of our family members are devotees now. So following, and then, I mean, of course, with Krishna's mercy and your visit, a lot of changes. So happy to see the change, and we can easily figure out the change. Right, devotees can easily, as you said. Devotees will feel happy seeing other devotees following consciousness. So that's how I see, and it's all because association. It's more association in Kartik month than other months that I was involved in, which helped a lot. So I just wanted to share, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you all devotees for the association.
Very well, thank you. And as Damodar Leela says, the mercy is proportional to one's endeavor. It's your personal endeavor, your prayers for your family, your chanting, your service, your eagerness, and Krishna reciprocates. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasi swabandhane. Seeing your hard work, seeing your devotion, Krishna is bound by your bhakti, by your sincerity. And I met your mother, I met your sister and their family. So sincere devotees. No, I was very inspired. And the fruit does not fall far from the tree, right? So you have that legacy, you have that heritage of genuine spiritual culture. So, and by getting connected to a bona fide spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada and his family, that seed that which was dormant, it just like sprouted so nicely. And now by your Sangha, your family is also taking Prabhuji kids. So thank you for all your sincerity and inspiration and service. Very cool.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your guidance. But by the way, they went again last Sunday, and yeah, so happy to hear that. My dad was given a garland. It seems that because he's leaving, and he wore it to the kids, so they felt so happy. Some change, and then the little one was explaining on how the kirtan went to me online. So happy to see. Just
So
what.
good.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very nice, very nice. Nandini Kishori Mataji is so humble, so senior, and still she's like patiently hearing all the blabber I'm doing. I request that you to please share something.
Prabhu, I have not been able to join regularly, so I don't know what to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. I know you have a lot of responsibility for Sankirtan and Gita Jayanti, and thank you. Thank you for your association. Gandhi, Prabhu, I see you are here.
Hare
Any
Krishna.
thoughts?
Yeah, I just joined little late today, but yeah, thank you for your association. Yeah, thank you, David.
Thank you. Okay, anything else before we wrap up? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Purana ki jai.
Yeah.
The childhood pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna and Balaram ki jai.
Yeah.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Purana ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Ansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyayocha.
Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.